Hey guys, it is Brido here, and welcome back to our GM Connected series for the Winnipeg Jets. In today's episode, guys, we got about 4 games or so. This isn't the most recent advancement recap, but the one before that, so we're going to have a couple of these videos so you guys can see what's been going on with the Winnipeg Jets, and we're just finishing up another recap right now as well, so it'll be about 3 or so in the next 4 or roughly 5 days, so lots of content to come for the Winnipeg Jets. But in this video I wanted to talk a little bit about the team, some trades I made going ahead, and also essentially where we're at with the league right now as it is. So we'll start with the video. You can see here we played the Phoenix Coyotes, went to a shootout. This was before the team got taken over by Sure I'm the Best. So this was a computer game. We weren't able to get it done, went to the shootout, weren't able to get the victory, but got one of those OT points that we've been collecting a lot of this season. But we'll start off with the fact that right now in the league we've passed the trade deadline. You guys are going to see some of that content for me in the changing of the team. You've already seen the recap where we've gone over that. And we've kind of brought in some new GMs to fill the void of some other GMs, you know, booted up the league to maybe about 20 or 2 or so teams, so a little bit more than normally that we usually have, trying to just find some guys that are pretty active, and we did find some new GMs that are relatively good, so I'm happy to see that. But also I've been kind of skimming out the teams a little bit, trying to find, you know, essentially who are our best GMs that are most active in the league, and anybody that's kind of on the iffy side for that or just has issues playing their games against other people, we switched them out. So with that said, there's been some movement in that, and we're now down to about 16 teams or so. So what I'm saying to you guys is quite short notice, but we're going to be doing an advancement probably tomorrow morning or so. This has been posted on Thursday night. So if you want to join the league, this is your last chance before the playoffs. We will add people after the playoffs. There'll be plenty of room after that point. We'll get to the free agency, the draft as well. So lots of stuff to do there. But if you want to join before the playoffs, this is the time to do it, because we're going to have a couple more advancements to come, but I'm going to freeze the teams at that point because I don't want to add any more new GMs at that point, especially the fact that we're going to have some teams that are CPU teams. I don't want GMs that really didn't do anything for the team going into the playoffs with their teams. I want them to have to work for it a little bit. There's still about 15 games or so left in the season, so if you want to join, this is the time right now. I'll say it one more time. Royal Hockey League is the league to join, and if you want to message me regarding it, it's Brido01. All requests previously have been wiped from the system, so if you want to join, if you've already asked and you haven't been added to the league, ask so again, make another request, and I'll contact you regarding it. If you respond, then we'll get it done, and you can be a part of the league. And yeah, you'll be joining right away. But as I said, if it's a little bit too late, I'm going to be looking through it tonight and tomorrow probably. If you don't join before then you know, unfortunately, you're going to have to wait till the next period, which will probably be in about 3 or so weeks when we get to free agency and the draft. But going back here, you can see obviously that we got a very exciting game here against the Pittsburgh Penguins, my brother. And it's really been cool actually for me because he's grown a lot as a player. Started the season, had a very woeful time with it, playing on Superstar, just wasn't getting it. And I think he's actually the worst team in the league. Now is at the point that he's fighting for the playoffs, got up there a bit. And when we've played in the past, he's been, you know, he's given me a challenge sometimes. It really hasn't been that hard, and it's been something I've been able to deal with. It haven't been too challenging overall, and we've had fun games, but I've kind of taken it easy on him. Now it's at the point now where he's really challenged me in this game. We had a game against him there where he took the lead. I was really worried at that point. I was able to pull it back with a couple lucky goals there. But he's definitely challenging now to be definitely a way better player than he was previously at the beginning of the season. And that's kind of the cool part about playing on Superstar 2. You get that, you know, ability to play against the CPU a little bit better, and that also helps you when you're playing against human teams, because you're, you know, essentially your room for error is really cut down when you play on Superstar, and that makes you a better player overall. So, I mean, anybody that joins the league that's having a little bit of tough time on Superstar, just put it, you know, really stick it through, try as hard as you can. And my advice to anybody playing is just, you know, play as much of a defensive game as you can, and, you know, take your chances later on. My worst thing when I play my games against the CPU is if I ever give up a goal, an early goal, that's the death of me. I am done. Because, you know, when you're playing against the CPU, they take the chances that you give them, and then they capitalize on them. So you need to give them as little as possible. And whenever you start chasing the game, that is the worst possibility of all time against a Superstar CPU. So my recommendation to everybody playing on Superstar is just, you know, control the game as much as you can. Take your time at the beginning of the game. You're going to get your goal. It's going to come. Might be in the second period. Might be a tight game overall, but that's the way to go rather than trying to find that goal early on and giving it up. So here you can see that we got a win there against St. Louis as well, and along with that we also got a game against Toronto there where we picked up a point too. But We're going to finish up this episode against the Montreal Canadiens, the best team in the league. A real tough challenge. I had a fun game against Keist earlier on this season. That one was a really close game. He came back, great goal to finish that game where he got it to overtime, then won the game in OT. Another OT loss for us at that point. And this one was a little bit of a rematch for us, so I was excited to play this game. But unfortunately, this one didn't go as planned. He really came out of the gates. It was a close game for most of the game. Wasn't able to put the pieces together, though, and unfortunately for us, it didn't turn out too well, as you'll see right here. But with that said, this period it kind of sparked me into finding some better players, trying to really maneuver the team. I did make some moves that were positive. I enjoyed some, and then also made a negative move where I moved for Quick. As you probably seen from the advancement recap, he only stayed here for one episode, which you'll see in the next episode, and you'll see why he moved so quickly. But at the same time, too, it was one of those things that I've kind of learned my lesson a little bit, that I don't want to trade as much anymore. I really like the players I have, and especially when you don't know the players that you're working with, it's harder to move on with them and get a grip with what you're actually dealing with at that point. So in this game here, we had a tough time. I felt a little bit down after it, because we did actually get a lot of chances. I only cut it to the goals pretty much. There's a couple chances at the beginning of the game. There you can see he gets a goal right after his second goal, so puts this game away, and then in the last seconds of the game here, he gets one from Josh Georges at the point, puts that one past Pavlik. And Pavlik's been playing really great for me, but this was the point where he played his last game for the Winnipeg Jets, and you'll see that in the next episode, guys. But until then, stay tuned for more in the future. Thanks, guys, for watching.